I go by Digital Crates, representing for HipHopSince1987.com. One of the last of the independent blogs that's left from the famous blog era. We've been around for a long time, and we really champion the upcoming independent artists. You're definitely an artist that's been on our radar. Shout out to Red Bull with their 60-second freestyles. I saw the video and I was like, yo, this is a special artist right here. I went to your
Appreciate it.
I went to your YouTube. I checked out a lot of your music and I was really impressed. I'm tapped in, but for the people that don't know you yet, maybe you could tell them your name and where you're from.
Yeah, so I'm PineappeCITI, definitely representing Jersey to the fullest. Shout out to Brick City, you know
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
saying? But yes, I made my way over to LA a couple of weeks ago, but it's still Jersey forever, you know.
Yeah.
Got a little bi-coastal thing going on right now.
Yeah, that's what's up. For the people though, they've been wondering, how did you come up with the name? Where did Pineapple City come from?
Oh man, so speaking of Jersey and Brick City, so I was born in Newark. Newark is affectionately known as Brick City, and my dad and my grandfather actually are both DJs, and my stepfather too. So I grew up around music a lot, and I used to carry this rap book around, you know, do my little freestyles with my dad when he would DJ. And because my name is Brittany, he started calling me Brick City, like
Mm,
you know, like Brick City. City stuck around, you know what I mean? It had some transformations, Miss City, City Fresh. It was a whole lot of stuff
yeah, yeah.
going on. But then actually one day, funny, I was eating some pineapples with my friend and put my hair up in a bun. And he's like, yo, when you put your hair in a bun, it looks like a pineapple. And I thought he was crazy as hell. But yeah, maybe like a day or two later, like it kind of hit me like, oh man, like Pineapple City sounds kind of dope. And then it kind of, you know, represents everything that I am. Like I'm, you know, just representing Jersey to the fullest and my sound being like somewhat as tropical as it is, you know what I'm saying? So it really helped out with that.
Yeah, the name definitely evokes a vibe that matches the energy of the music. It's kind of rare that you see that. A lot of artists, it seems like they just pick their names out of a hat. But yeah, but your name and your sound, it really like goes together and creates this vibe that I think is like got the bar work and the hip hop feel of the East Coast, but then kind of like the easy breezy feeling of the West Coast. It's like you're really putting the two sounds together. What inspired you to kind of like come up with that sound and kind of get into taking music more seriously?
Well, like I said, my family just is really like embedded in me to love music. Like I grew up inside of a record store.
Mm,
So another thing about being from Jersey, I just feel like we love so many different styles of music. You know what I'm saying? We love everything. And so growing up in that record store and hearing everything, of course, influenced my music in so many different ways, which I feel like adds like a little bit of a universal flair to my sound because a lot of people say like they can't, you know, figure out where exactly I'm from when they hear my music.
hmm.
But to me, that's like a good thing because
Yeah.
you know the sound is more worldwide and you know so I'm definitely yeah man I'm definitely bringing all of the coasts together. I guess I should
Yeah,
say.
and I think that speaks to like the true hip hop loving nature of Jersey hip hop heads because it's really like there is no one Jersey sound. I think like
Yeah,
from South Jersey all the way up to North Jersey is like artists with all sorts of different sounds and
for
styles.
sure.
And I think
Yeah,
what makes y'all special is y'all really ride for each other. Like it's really
yeah.
like a community thing. I guess were there any other artists that were around you besides family that inspired you as well coming up?
To start off, when I was small, I went to pre-K at this school called Christian Love, and Whitney Houston's mother like spoke there, and that was like her church. And then like my aunt went to school with Faith Evans, so she was like always on the block, or like Lauryn Hill, you know. But then as I grew up, just seeing like my friends like Dougie F, in his journey, or like Tsu Surf, or you know,
Yeah.
just or Arsenal. You know, even though Arsenal and Tsu Surf is like more of like the battle rap realm, just like their love for hip hop in general, for me was like, yo, like, you know, they share the same love that I do, and it kind of pushed and propelled me to want to do and be more. But for certain, like Lauryn Hill, and Queen Latifah,
Yeah.
were really big, for me growing up because they, you know, they was literally from where I was from. you
Yeah.
know. So to especially see women that high up in hip hop at that time was phenomenal, and to see the things that Lauryn was doing, specifically to know that they were from where I was from, it was like for me, like, yeah, I could do that too.
Yeah, that's definitely, and those are just two extremely inspirational artists. Those names you mentioned, those are artists, even Faith Evans too, that really took it to some of the highest levels that you can
Yeah.
take it to. It's really
Or like,
inspirational.
I mean, Naughty by Nature, Joe, but I feel like, the historical value of what Jersey brought to hip hop is like often left out of the equation when
Yeah,
speaking about it.
yeah.
But I mean, man, we was taking over the globe for a second.
Yeah, Jersey definitely got a lot of like history built into the hip hop scene. Just being in between New York and Philly, it's like right in the middle of so much amazing things that have happened over the
Yeah.
years. What took you to LA? What was it about LA that drew you out that way?
Well, man, I've just always loved LA from, the first time I came out here as a kid. And my music is very tropical. I mean, I have different types of styles that I do, but like a lot of my stuff is playful and fun and tropical. And this really like fits my vibe. It's so funny, like a lot of my friends, well, not like super close friends, but people who know me already thought I lived here because I was just here so much,
Mm,
So it felt like the right place to be. This kind of feels like more like me. Not saying Jersey isn't me, because Jersey is of course me forever, but just more where I'm at this point in my life.
mm.
What I want to do with my career and the things that I see for myself going forward. This was like, it wasn't a hard yes. It wasn't a hard sell at all.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Where else can you see palm trees at Walmart?
That's really dope that you've gotten the experience of both coasts. I think a lot of artists, I don't know what it is, they miss the opportunity to move around and gain different energy. And it seems like you've
Yeah.
taken all that and putting it into your art and your music. And your music, I think, is really artistic. It's
Thank you.
definitely vivid. It's like a lot of things going on. But for someone who hasn't heard it, how would you describe your music to them?
I would say soulful yet tropical. Like
Yeah.
I love 90s vibes. I'm super inspired by everything 90s, but I feel like I bring a new like tropical flair to it. Just like a little more saucy, a little more drip to it,
Mm,
man. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Definitely bringing old and new together.
Yeah, that's what's up. And other than that, like, what would you say separates yourself from other artists that's on the come up right now?
As far as my artistry goes, I feel like I'm not afraid to be myself, and
Mm,
I feel like anytime you're being yourself, you're different from everybody else because everybody's different, right?
true.
So I don't really lock myself into a box of like what kind of music Pineapple City is gonna make or whatever. It's more like, yo, if I feel like if I went to the club last night and I'm in the studio and I feel the energy of wanting to make a club record, I'm going to do that. But if I'm like heartbroken or like in love or something, then you're going to hear songs about that as well. So I feel like something that separates me is I'm not afraid to go down the different paths and journeys of like exactly who I am
Yeah.
through all avenues.
Yeah, still learning, still growing. And you're definitely not new to this. You're really true to the game. You've been putting out a lot of good music, good videos for a while. What motivates you to keep getting better, to keep showing, improving?
More than anything, it's just something that I really love to do. It's it's
Mm,
it's been my passion for such a long time. It's in my family. I've been making music since I was 6 years old. So for me, this is what I know how to do right. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And I feel like once you find that, it's hard to escape it. Even sometimes when you want to. Like I feel like we all have a passion, and sometimes that passion can drive you a little crazy, but we never leave it.
yeah. The game just keeps calling. You know what I mean? Even
Yeah.
if you step
Mhm.
away, that's real.
Yeah.
So how did you link up with Red Bull? There's such like a strong brand that I think represents a motivated and talented artist, not just in music, but in sports and in all sorts of different lifestyles. The 60-second freestyle is so dope. Some of the other visuals that you have on their website are really, really fresh. How did you link up with them and get that going?
Yeah, so it was actually we've been working together for a while. I actually started off as a songwriter for them in like 2017.
Mm,
One of the first things they had me do was write for Kelly Rowland, which was like
oh
mind
wow.
blowing to me.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm like, what? And she's in the studio with us, and we did a whole documentary. They've always felt like family to me. So all areas of Red Bull to me are family. So, you know, when they reached out about the 60-second thing, you know, it was something I was definitely gonna do because, you know, we got a mutual respect for each other and love for each other in
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah, they really support and motivate the culture to like new heights all the time. It's amazing. I want to get into some more of the music. The Sam Silver ASAP Twelvy collab. How did that come together? I love the visual. I love the animation. I love how y'all have different styles, but they mesh so well together. How did that collab
Yeah.
come together?
Man, Sam just hit me up on Instagram and was like, "Yo, man, me and Twelvy have this record that we think would be you would be perfect for."
Mm,
And I went up to the studio and vibed out with them, and you know we
oh, that's
created a
dope.
record. I'm glad that it's doing so well. It was actually like one of like a sleeper for me because like I had like just looked at the streams the other day, like, oh wow, this is doing amazing. So
Yeah.
shout out to Sam and ASAP 12 for that, man, because it was definitely a dope collab, and we're definitely gonna do some more work in the future.
Is unique. And in your part, you mix like a melodic section and then get into some bars, some real rap. Um, I've noticed on other tracks you have that you do that where you kind of go from melody to rap and then back. When you're in the studio, how do you balance that? Like, how do you know which way to go when you're on the track in terms of melody versus bars?
You know what's crazy? I never know. I never have like any idea at all stuff. Like it's very it's very spur of the moment, and I kind of just do what the record tells me to do.
Mm,
I think originally when I started making music, I was super bar heavy. Like
mm,
just everything had to be. I mean, you know, I'm from the East Coast. You understand? Just very
yeah.
bars. And you know, along the way, I started picking up like more melodic sounds. I feel like originally I was doing some kind of like, you know how like J. Cole might be melodic here and there sometimes. So I was
Yep.
doing like
Yep.
stuff here and there. It wasn't until I actually did the writing for Kelly Rowland and I wrote like this crazy ballad for her. I've
Mm,
never written like a ballad in my life.
mm.
And she listened to it, was like, man, City, you should sing more. And like just her saying that to me, I'm like, man, Kelly Rowland is telling me I could sing. So at least let me add a little bit more melody in there. So, you know, so now when I go to the studio, it's just a matter of whatever the beat tells me.
Mm.
That's kind of what's going to come out.
So I really think you're onto something special.
Thank you.
Let me take it back a little bit. I love the song Balance. Again, with the
Oh
lyric
yeah.
video and the animation, just the aesthetic. Like I really love art wise what you got going on. Maybe you could talk about the making of that song and how you got hooked up with the show Sweet Life and got the song placed on HBO.
Oh yeah. Well, first off, shout out to RAEDIO and Issa Rae's company for that phenomenal hookup right there. Balance is actually like one of my favorite records. It's something that I really enjoy. Like I said in the last question you asked me, it kind of just like came to me.
Mm,
I was in the studio with Fresh and my boy Akachi, and they just cooked up this crazy beat, and it kind of just sounded like what I was going through at the time. Like I like to
mm,
make music that is relatable, not just because it's relatable, but because it's authentic to me, right? So
yeah,
literally at that time in my life, I really felt like I needed balance all the way around.
yeah.
And uh I was glad I was able to play with the melodies a bit on the hook and then really give them something in the bars for the verses. You know, I like to say stuff, you know what I mean? Like I don't like just make music just to make words rhyme, you know. At least everything that I do has a message in it as well.
Mm. And the show is dope. Like the show, I think in terms of like the art direction of your music, it's like a perfect fit. Like shout out to the music supervisor, whoever thought to put that together. Like that's a really good fit for you.
Like I said, radio. Shout out to RAEDIO and Issa Rae, but I actually just like got invited to the Insecure camp and wound up catching the MVP Songwriter Award over
Crazy.
there, which was amazing. So we're really starting to develop a really great relationship. And Sweet Life was just one of the first things that we got together on. But there sure will be more to come.
Yeah, and the Insecure writing camp, I seen the post where you're holding up the plaque like it's a 10 times platinum plaque, and it must have been a great experience to bring that kind of joy out of you. Maybe you can talk a little bit more about what the camp was all about and how that came together.
Yeah, so I mean, the camp was amazing. It was out here in LA, downtown LA, and it was just a bunch of dope people there, man. And I really enjoy working with other artists, other creatives. When I get into songwriter mode, man, it's just run and gun. I was just going from room to room, whatever I could provide to the situation I would provide. And I wound up working on at least like, I don't know, maybe 30 songs in those like 3 days, or
That's
probably a
crazy.
little bit more than that. The cool thing about songwriting for me is that I get a chance to like step out of who I am as a person, and it's almost like, trying to fill in a puzzle, or like,
Mm,
it's a challenge that I'm up for, and it's fun and entertaining because it's always something new.
yeah.
Like I know what kind of music I want to make for myself, but to go into a place where there's like, hey, this is for like a specific purpose, it's almost like a mental task. Like
Yeah.
I really do enjoy writing.
When you're in the studio, do you like separate that now that you've gained this experience? Like, do you ever just go in like, all right, this is going to be a writing session, or this is just a recording session, or do you just kind of
Yes,
go with the flow? Like, how does that work?
some sometimes I do have specific sessions for specific purposes, but oftentimes, man, I just go in and just make whatever comes. And if it sounds like it's a record that could go
Mm,
for someone else, I'll give it away. But if it sounds more like authentic to who I am,
mhm.
then I'll go that way.
And I'm big on manifestation with this music game, and collaboration to me is the key to making money. So looking down the line, who are some artists or other writers that you would love to collaborate with?
Far as writers are concerned, there's two women out here in LA that I'm definitely looking forward to connecting with. One is Stara,
Oh
and the
yeah,
other is
she's
Jazzy.
amazing.
Yeah, they're killing it right now.
Yeah.
Super killing it. As far as artists go, Buddy, I love Buddy.
Yo, he's amazing on the low, super amazing.
Fast, yeah, I love man, I love Tyler. I love of course, like Drake and Cole for
Hmm.
sure. J Rock.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people. There's a lot of like new and up and coming artists right now, like that are super vibey. To me, I'm really not like a name whore per se. Like if you
Mhm.
make great music, bro, like I'm in there
Mm,
with you.
yeah, same. Yeah, the music definitely speaks for itself sometimes, louder than the artist can, you know. It's and speaking
Right.
of records, I guess you've been working, so what's coming down the line? You got like a new EP or album on the way? Like what can the fans expect in the next couple months or so?
Yo, for sure. So I'm actually about to get ready to release this record called Potion.
Mm.
I got my boy Guap Dad on there, which I'm really
Oh, yeah,
excited
he's
about.
fire.
Yeah,
Mm.
so we about to go crazy with this record. It's releasing really, really soon. And then I have a project coming up. So it's about to be pineapple season all over again. You know what
Let's
I'm saying?
go.
So
Let's go.
yeah, I'm excited for you guys to hear this record. It's gonna be crazy.
And then what about further down the line, like a couple years from now? Where do you see all this music taking you?
Yo, honestly, man, like I have so much that I want to do. Of course, everyone loves accolades, but I really want to try my hand in some acting as well. I've
Mm.
already had my acting debut on Sneakerheads on Netflix, but I really want to get into acting more fashion as well. But I'm definitely looking for some crazy plaques on these new records, man. So that's the
Yeah.
the most important thing, and that's the thing that I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah, and your music is visual. I could definitely see you taking something to like that level of acting and directing and putting
Yeah.
something together for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely directing as well, man. Because a lot of my videos, I co-directed on. So I definitely feel like, the sky's the limit. Especially
Mm,
now here in LA, I don't want to put myself into any box of like, you know, what exactly I'll do. I feel like, there's no ceiling. Like let's just do it.
so on our website, our audience is mainly built up of like younger, on the come up artists, DJs, producers, video directors, like a lot of creatives, young creatives follow the site. Is there any advice you could give to them?
Yeah, I would just say continue to believe in yourself no matter what, like trust your conviction. If like God whispered in your ear who you are, like it wasn't for no reason at
Mhm.
all. Just because things haven't come to fruition yet doesn't mean that they're not on the way. Keep going, man, and
Yeah.
continue putting in your 30, 40,000 hours, man. Like
Yeah.
like cuz all we can do is practice, 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 and the results will show improve, man. So just keep going. Once you put in that 30,000, man, put in another 30. You
Yeah, I
know.
know. I know you stay in the gym. I know you stay in the studio, taking them free throws, and I know you're gonna start hitting some big game winners soon.
I
Um,
appreciate it.
so I don't know if you got any shout outs or any last words before we wrap up.
Well, no, man, I just want to shout out you for this opportunity. It really
No
means a
doubt.
lot. I'm definitely a fan of hip hop since 1987. And you guys have showed love to me like from the beginning of my career. So I want to say thank you, and yeah, man, I'm appreciative and looking forward from more talks to come.
Absolutely. So yeah, good luck on the new stuff coming out. We're gonna be tapped in with everything you got going on, and thanks to you for taking the time today to get into your career and your music.
I appreciate you. Have a good day,
Uh,
man.
bless up.
All right.